the spontaneous expressions of supernatural powers of Thakur while he lived in Ujanchor Krishnanagar, the playground of his childhood, were reined in and brought under control by him with age. Still, while he was in Dhaka, there were numerous incidents of expressions of his supernatural powers. While on one hand, he inundates devotees and disciples with philosophical renditions, on the other hand, his expression of supernatural powers fascinated everyone. The reporters of East Bengal Times magazine asked him in amazement, why does he express such supernatural powers? The magazine printed his response, why does he express such powers? This question raises in the minds of many. What I have understood from him, Thakur, is that he wanted to communicate to a large part of the educated population of the society who refuse to believe in many things, that there lies a large part of reality which is much beyond their pretentious philosophy. He wanted to inform the doubtful atheists that our physical world and our mortal bodies are extremely tiny parts of that infinite continuum being, hence, ragging bloody and disastrous war to control ownership of this tiny physical wealth is utterly meaningless. For him, this expression of supernatural powers is a vehicle to bring the people to him so that in his association, and through his advice and directions, they can understand that their true entity is a combination of vigor, consciousness, and love. Further, he wanted scientific exploration of supernatural powers. Many famous scientists had met Thakur, but they, like other ordinary people, also remained fascinated by his expression of supernatural powers. They observed these as spiritual events or fascinating incidents, but no one went further to explore scientifically and research upon how does he express the supernatural powers. Perhaps it is not possible to explain the way supernatural powers are exhibited using prevailing scientific constructs. Hence, their scientific mind could not progress much in this path. People were satisfied by the way Thakur had explained the expression of supernatural powers. After a dumb person met and left, Thakur sketched the picture of his brain, which was very similar to the picture of the brain seen in the medical books but was not exactly the same, as so detailed a picture of the brain was never provided by anyone till that time. In that drawing, there were so many critical components of nerves sketched that those had not been discovered till that date. In that sketch, a tiny spot, defect, was indicated in one of the micro-components for which the person was not able to speak. This was way beyond the knowledge and ability of the medical science at that time, and hence, what would the medical scientists do other than remain fascinated by his powers? Thakur not only drew and explained the diagnosis but also cured the person. He could speak after a few days. At times he reduced his body so much it became like vapor and then, with a flash or by becoming invisible, escaped out of a closed room, which amazed all. Sometimes, he went on talking at one place and simultaneously went on to a faraway place and accomplished some work while leaving evidence of his going there. People observe this and then label it as something that the mind cannot explain, but no one tries to find any clue if that could be explained in any scientific manner. When he asked the TB patient, someone who was returned by the hospital as someone in an incurable state and on his path to demise, to wait in scorching sunlight for 7 days, that cured him completely. Doctors were amazed to find a clear X-ray report and thought, how was that possible? the power that can detect a defect in the brain, cure it, and enable a patient to get back his power of speech, the power that can make a physical body disappear while sitting in one place, the power that enabled a physical body to stay in one place yet take another similar body and go to treat and cure a patient on his deathbed by just asking him to sit in scorching sunlight. From where does that power originate? How can that power be obtained? Where is the evidence that this raised curiosity among the scientists? Some people conclude after expressing amazement, and others conclude by saying, I don't believe, or how is that possible, or this cannot happen. In this age of science, when mankind is trying to understand nature by applying the knowledge of science gained so far, at a time when they are trying to bring the power of nature under human control, does the absence of curiosity in trying to understand this supreme power by the scientific minds not convey limits of their knowledge as a whole? There as well, they would have to accept defeat against the supernatural powers of the contemplative mind. In this context, an incident is remembered where a few people from a place near the hills of Tibet who practiced a thought process of purity asked Balak Thakur, when one can exchange thoughts with one another using the contemplative mind, why do you need those devices, telegram, telephone? How would one explain scientifically the incident that happened in the people-packed Zmindar Palace of Are Hazar village during the Second World War? One day Thakur mentioned that, if I am lying down, do not touch me without asking me. Once, many people had gathered to hear Thakur's philosophical renditions in a big hall of the palace. All thought Thakur was taking rest. In such a circumstance they had to wait. Two people were blowing the hand fan to keep the mosquitoes away, but something was strange. Usually Thakur wakes after 10 to 15 minutes, but that day it was 2-3 hours gone by, and Thakur was lying, no movement, nothing. It appeared that he was not even breathing. He was lying like a stone. There was no permission to touch, so all were quietly waiting. There was a hint of worry among those present. It was clear that this was not a normal state of rest. After a while there was a sound of a deep sigh. Thakur slowly opened his eyes. An elderly lady of the house, Nashbala, asked, Thakur, we were kind of worried. You usually do not stay in such a state of rest for long. What had happened? Thakur replied, a war is underway. People from faraway places were calling in the face of trouble. I could not help but have to go there. Hence, it took some time to return. Similar incidents happened in many places. A few months before leaving Ujjanchor Krishnanagar, an incident happened that had a profound impact on the minds of his classmates. Last year Thakur was unable to sit for the final exam, hence, he had decided to give it a last and final try. Two classmates studied with him, one Muslim and the other Hindu. Three of them studied together. Thakur had told them, if you find me lying down, do not call me or touch me. You continue to study on your own. I will catch up later. One day they saw Thakur was lying down in the accounting office room. On getting no response after calling, they took the lantern to inspect and found that the body of Thakur was motionless, no sign of breathing was noticeable. They were afraid and on touching found the body's surface to be cold like ice. They could not evoke any response even by pressing the toe. Out of terrible fear, they decided to inform people in his home. There was no one whom they could ask to go and inform. Neither of them was feeling confident enough to stay along with Thakur. So, they decided to bolt the door from outside and go and inform his home. They bolted the door, and when they turned to commence their walk, they found Thakur was standing in the front guarding the way. He said, "I am not dead, look, I am fully alive." After the classmates settled down, Thakur said, "I had asked you not to touch me when I am lying down. You did not abide by." They accepted that they forgot the instructions in fear. It is easy to shoo away the incident by commenting, "I don't believe." However, is it not appropriate that a scientific explanation is attempted, uncovering the process? In order to understand his supernatural powers, one would need to comprehend and analyze the events that had occurred since before his birth. Mahaprabhu Gaurangdev had professed to his maternal uncle Bishnudas Thakur, and as per that, he would take birth after 13 generations. Balak Thakur matched that prophecy, and he started showing Ashtasiddhi powers since birth and amazed people around. He explained the philosophy of nature spontaneously from 5 years of his age. The predictions of great sages Loknath Brahmachari and Trilanga Swami to monk Ashwini Chatterjee, that a Purno Brahma will appear after half a century and complete his initiation, was satisfied within the stipulated time when Balak Thakur completed the initiation mantra for him. He indicated that he was the Purno Brahma when he asked Jogesh Chaudhary to come to him for initiation wearing the saffron cloth that was predicted by Loknath Brahmachari many years ago. Balak Thakur was a child at that time. Shoroshi Thakurun was severely ill, and she had seen a divine image in her dreams. After 30 or 35 years, when she saw the incarnation of that divine form in young Thakur, she was fascinated, and she asked Thakur, "Where are your other 2 arms?" Famous yogi Adityanath Baba, who lived in the Himalayas, had predicted, "Time is ripe, the moment has arrived." Now he would come in person and establish a new order in society. After a large destruction event, a new beginning will be ushered in. There will be a change in the Yuga, while within this Yuga itself, he will be born in Bengal. The appearance of Thakur on earth is no less a wonder. He appeared on a dark, moonless night, Amavasya, during Kali Puja in the prayer courtyard, surprising his mother, Charushila, as he was born without birth pangs for her, and right after birth, he started observing the surroundings intently. His body was devoid of any uncleanliness and had glowing skin. It appeared as if someone had bathed and cleaned the baby and kept him there. Observing this supernatural birth, his aunt requested the baby to cry and prove that he is not dumb. His uncle, famous astrologer Sundar Thakur, ignored the custom as he sat to draw his horoscope right then. The mendicant sage who had visited them before his birth and professed his arrival came again just after his birth and announced, "He has arrived. You shall realize later on." The date of his birth and arrival will remain etched in the history of earth to be reckoned forever. 23rd Kartik 1327, 9th November 1920, in Midinimandal village, which was under Dhaka Bikrampur district. Observing his supernatural powers right from childhood and then his philosophical discussions resulted in people referring to him as Bacha Thakur, Bacha Gosen, Balak Thakur, Balak Gosen, they referred to him by any name they fancied. The name of reference that was there in his childhood, Balak, became Balak Brahmachari with time. It is perhaps impossible to truly understand in depth this simple, open-minded, colossal, divine Mahapurush, sage. People will realize him based on the level and capacity of that person, and to facilitate that, a chronicle of some of the incidents from his life has been captured here.